Hello there, Mad Mike here, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to do a trailer breakdown for the horror movie Dawn of the Beast. Now I came across this because every once in a while on Movie Web they like to spotlight these smaller kind of indie horror movies, and this one caught my eye. And I like the premise of it. I like the idea of it, and I like kind of the way they're executing it. I think it's a little bit tongue in cheek, but I'll go into that as we dive into the trailer. Um, now, the movie itself is basically marketing itself as it's a versus movie without putting verses in the title. And I'll get to that, but like the opening part of this is basically kind of a lead up to them saying that they're going to be going out to hunt Bigfoot. We kind of get introduced to the world that we're going to be seeing. This is kind of one of those like off in the woods movies. This is like the evil forest type of thing, like the Evil Dead type of thing, where they're going out into this like cursed woods, but they're looking for Bigfoot. But unfortunately, they also managed to find another mythical creature, which is called a Wendigo. Now, I don't know what their definition of Wendigo is going to be in this, but the visual representation is actually very similar to a Until Dawn. If anybody's played that game, similar to the way it's portrayed there. They're kind of these very feral looking, like pale skin things with these glowing blue eyes. They do look relatively creepy, and there's a big contrast because the other thing we do see in this trailer is we do see Bigfoot. Only a couple of glimpses of him, but the thing is that when we start off through this trailer, as soon as we realize the point that the kids that are the cryptozoologists are going on a Bigfoot hunt in the hills, it makes me kind of think that this is a little bit tongue in cheek. They're not playing this thing 100% serious. There's also another line a little bit later on in the film, which I'll get into, or they could just be playing this the 80s way, where it's just unapologetically stupid. Um, Fun, but again, stupid. Now, the opening part of this is setting up a little bit of that. We get to the end point where we do get to see Wendigos and Bigfoot and stuff duking it out a little bit. But as we go through the beginning of it, we kind of get to see one. We get decent shots of each one of our characters, but the thing is, we never really get told anything about them, and they're just kind of there. We just see them, and then they don't really go into any kind of plot points or names, really. I mean, the centerpiece of the whole thing is the idea of Bigfoot versus Wendigos, which again is a good idea as long as you can execute it properly. But again, going through that beginning part, there's a little bit of kind of like an interlude thing with a necklace, where at the very beginning we see this woman putting on this necklace, and then later on we see another one of our characters taking that necklace off of a decayed corpse. I don't know if it is of that woman or maybe another person, but uh, that's really the only kind of through thread we have in the trailer in terms of an actual story arc. Other than that, it's really just kind of straightforward. This is the plot. This is what's happening. This is what's going to happen in the film, which I don't really mind in a movie like this because I have a funny feeling they're not really there to develop the surrounding characters all that much. They're there to get you to the point where you have Bigfoot versus Wendigos, and I think the reason why is I feel like this film may have had a working title of literally Bigfoot versus the Wendigos, and they changed it because they thought that would be ridiculous and people would just assume it was a horrible, shitty B movie. Now, it does look like it has production value in the sense of it doesn't look like it was shot on a Handycam. It doesn't look like it was shot on like a GoPro or some shit. It looks like it was shot on a somewhat professional camera. It does have some studio logos attached to it, although they're studios I have not heard of. So it has that going for it. The practical effects actually do look pretty good. Like I said, I think the look of the Wendigos looks pretty good, and the look of Bigfoot looks kind of interesting. It looks a little bit more like a Wolfman, but maybe that's just me. Um, but overall, I think that everything I saw in the trailer was relatively good. And I actually kind of want to see this because it does sound like kind of an interesting movie. And if they do play it sort of tongue in cheek, that kind of half and half horror like situational comedy type thing, I could see that working, and I would actually really like to see that because I do like horror movies that are a little tongue in cheek, maybe like a Scream, maybe in the sense of they know how to poke fun at themselves as opposed to just a meta horror film like what Scream is. Um, Not to say I don't like Scream. I'm just saying. But there's not really too much more to explain with this trailer. Now, it's not coming from any kind of a big studio. It's coming from a lot of smaller background studios. But I like I said, I like the effects. I think the acting is okay, depending on what type of a tone they're going with. If this really is going to be a little bit more jokey, and I like the way that it's shot. I like the way that they present things to you, and I think that at the end of the trailer, when you actually do get to see Bigfoot like throwing around these Wendigos, even though you can see a little bit of the strings in terms of some of the effect shots. Like they do some 3D effect shots in this that look a little but I mean nothing worse than what I've seen in some other horror movies lately. Colorado Space had a really bad one. I think near the beginning or middle part of the film, where there's this like CGI looking cat monster that's supposed to run across the street, and it looked horrible. But the effects in this film actually look better than that, and that was something that had a Shudder backing it at the time. But I like that about it. I like the fact that it does showcase the effects. They don't keep it, in the shadows the whole time. They don't try to make it something psychological. It knows what it is. It knows what people want to see, and it's showing it. And that's really the more important part about the whole thing. But that's just kind of my opinion on this trailer. As usual, I'm going to link the trailer in the description below for anybody that wants to watch it. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you like this trailer? Do you think that it's a kind of an interesting, like a good concept for like a versus movie? Do you not like the trailer? Are you interested in smaller horror films? Are you not? Do you like the effects in it? Do you not? Put all your thoughts in the comments below. As usual, I like to read them. And make sure to hit the bell for notifications, hit the like button, subscribe, and remember, I live my life free of compromise. Do you?